Hey there, everybody. Welcome to a new Blacklist video. Now, here's the thing, for full disclosure. We were going to come on here today. We were gonna set the stage for Season 8, Episode 13, the Big Ann episode.
Yep.
That's still going to happen. It's just going to happen a little bit later this week.
Yeah, we're going to have that up on Friday. There is no new episode on Friday, so we're going to have a preview for the next episode, the Big Ann episode, on Friday, so look out for that.
Here's the thing, though. We have had a big red Megan Boone button that has been on our desk for weeks now. We've just been waiting to be like it's like one of the coaches on The Voice or something. And like, we are pushing the button now because we have real, legitimate news as to when Liz is going to be back on the show.
Yes.
It is not a drill. There's no, unless the promo department, whoever writes NBC synopses, is just like really, really wanting to make us all miserable. This is happening. We're going to get into it. We're going to share some details. Before we do, subscribe to the channel if you want more discussions, because as you guys probably know, we talk about the Blacklist after every new episode. We do previews, theories, all sorts of other awesome stuff. We don't want you guys to miss any of it.
Also, be sure to follow us over on Instagram at Matt and Jess TV. We've got all kinds of fun stuff from what we did this weekend. It was Easter. We painted some eggs. We made some colorful waffles. We made some Twinkie Bunny cars. We did all kinds of stuff.
Most of it's food related. Surprise to no one.
Yeah,
okay.
It's true.
This is season 8, episode 14. It is airing on April 23rd. And, pardon my French, and I actually mean that literally in this case because my pronunciation, I believe this is pronounced misère. If I am wrong, I'm sure you guys will probably let me know.
My high school French has been long lost.
Well,
so I can't help.
This is the French for misery, basically.
Yes.
And I think the fact that it is a French title, we know the Blacklist has some roots in France already. Katerina was referred to as the woman in Paris for a little while. Could that be where Liz has been this whole time?
Well, possibly.
Maybe. Well, here's how you know this episode is important. It was written by John Bokenkamp and John Eisendrath. Anytime you get the creator and the showrunner, you get these two doing an episode together, it's like, okay, we got some important stuff we want to get out there to you guys.
For sure. Okay, so let's get into the synopsis, because that is the part where we read it and we were like, oh, here we go. It's happening now. Okay, so this is where we are. Yeah. In a retrospective look at key turning points, steps are retraced that led Elizabeth Keene to align with a powerful enemy. So a while back, Matt made a suggestion. You can pat yourself on the back because it seems like this is where we are going.
They listened to us.
That we thought that Matt thought that down the road. I'm taking credit for it now because
that's fine. I don't care.
No, Matt thought that down the road that we would have some sort of flip where all this time we have seen what Red is doing, and Dembe and the task force, everybody. We have seen what's been going on. We have just seen the effects of whatever Liz has been doing happening over here. Now it looks like we're going to actually see some of what Liz did to make some of this happen. The biggest one I really want to know about is that potential plane crash thing, because it seemed a bit extreme to be able to kidnap Chemical Mary.
It all seemed extreme. Like, you're putting a lot of faith in the task force that they're going to be able to pull all of this off, and they're competent and all of that sort of stuff. Well, are they competent all the time? Okay, that's a completely different discussion. But, Liz, I got some of where she was coming from. But, her methods, her means to the end were on another planet. I'm glad. Yeah,
they really were. It felt like she just knew every piece of information that was out there. How was that happening? This is an episode that needs to happen, and it's needed to happen for a little while now. It's a bit overdue.
Yeah, we've needed this for a long time, because this is where we can actually get some real answers. And the number one thing I want to know is that Liz is making mistakes. And I'm not saying that in a, let's all dogpile Liz sort of way, because I know she's a polarizing character. I understand why, because of her back and forth with Reddington, but it is I don't like that she has been successful at every single thing that she's done. It's okay to have some wins, but you gotta take some L's here or there too. It's like,
yeah, and it feels like she hasn't. So even when we go back and have this episode where it seems like we're going to be seeing how she put everything together, I don't know how many L's there's really going to be there because everything has worked out exactly the way she wanted. Yeah. So what I'm hoping to see is sort of this, push and pull from within her over what she's doing. Because listen, I know she's pissed off. Yeah. I know that she's being driven by anger, but I want to see something else happening too. Like the fact that Cooper almost got killed, her sort of relationship with Wrestler that's maybe pulling her back into some stuff, her love for Aram, like how are these things all factoring into what she is doing and how it's affecting them?
I think it's important that they sort of show there's still multiple sides to Liz, because I think if they just make her, for the whole episode, I am angry and want to kill Reddington, and that is like the only gear she has, it's not going to be an interesting episode.
No.
Reddington has many layers. He has the I am a criminal mastermind who's about to just sock the man from the east in the face. Yeah. I care about the people who are loyal to me. Yeah. I've got this 30-year he's got like all these different sides to him, and I think Liz still needs to have some of these sides, and I'm sure we'll at least get something of it. And I don't want it to just be her and Agnes and that her daughter's the only person who she cares for, because I don't think that's true.
No, I think that as much as the Liz character has frustrated me and some of the writing for her has frustrated me, I think that this is a perfect time to do a little bit of a reset and dig deeper into her. It has just been a lot. She's just like one track focused, where she just wants to know what this relationship is between her and Reddington. And I get that. Yeah. But there's got to be more to her than this. And it can't just be now she's just like a one-track killing machine.
No.
Why not just grow this a little bit? This is the perfect time. Show us all of these types of things that she's doing. And please give us more motivation than I just want Reddington dead. Because she could have, at this point, it seems, with this like vast information and all these people at her disposal, she could have killed him a million times over. Yeah. So it kind of feels like there's something else going on besides just death.
We need to see it. We need to get a little bit more context. I do hope that this isn't something that's stretched out more than just like an episode and a half, because in this episode, we're probably not going to see most of any of the major characters outside of Liz, unless they find some unique way to cut it together. But it doesn't seem like she had been in direct contact with the Wrestler based on what we just saw with him calling up that voicemail line at all hours of the day.
I think that this will be an episode that we might see little bits of the task force, possibly a little bit of Reddington, but if I had to have a guess, we're not actually going to see any of them. I think it's going to be sort of a just in a bottle episode of her side of things, getting all this together. And I suspect that the half of the audience that doesn't like Liz is going to hate this episode, because I just feel like Reddington is probably not going to be part of it.
Here's where I'm going to throw this out there, and I know I've done this like 3 times already this season, but bear with me. I might be right this time. Okay.
Hey, you were right about this.
There we go. My credibility is rising again. Okay, I'm fishing out there. I'm going to say we're going to get a bite on Liz at the end of episode 13, and then maybe that sets up episode 14. And just judging from the fact that she's aligning with a powerful enemy, I'm guessing that is Neville Townsend.
Yeah, I think so.
We've already seen how they sort of linked up in the Cyranoid, but I actually want to see her and Neville like in really the same scene this time, as opposed to all of that sort of weirdness.
No, I agree. Like after the Cyranoid thing, I want to see what that relationship looks like. Like, how are they working together now? Because I feel like that relationship is probably progressing into other things. And I would like to know more about Neville. I mean, we really don't know anything about him. And this is going to be a good way to learn more about him, which is important too, because he is going up against Red. So I need to know the man going up against Red.
I hope that we see something in this episode that maybe makes Liz be like, you know what, maybe this Neville guy's not so great. Like, maybe Reddington's not that bad after all. I don't think it's going to come that quickly, but
No.
to me, the golden age of this show is still when Reddington and Liz are working together.
Yes.
And maybe they have a couple trust issues, but they work it out. We still get that awesome variation of Red that we saw this past episode. And
Yeah.
I want that back. Is that too much to ask?
Yeah, I have really missed seeing Liz on these episodes. I miss that back and forth. It's like you gave us all these seasons of what is the mystery between these two. And for a long time, I was like, okay, get to it. What is the mystery between these two so that you can open up a bigger mystery where these two are working together to deal with this? And it was like, then they just took away Liz. They didn't tell us what the mystery is. And they opened up this bigger mystery. And I was kind of like, you got to wrap this up.
Yeah, I've enjoyed a couple of these recent episodes without
Yes.
Liz, but at the same time, I wish the hiatus was a little bit shorter. I want to get to seeing the two of them work together again. This is my own delusion. Hope I will not allow anything to burst my bubble that this can be worked out, except the show probably telling me that it can't be worked out.
Like, I felt like it could be worked out if it was worked out quickly. I think the longer she thinks that her mother is dead and that Reddington killed her, that it was going to be harder and harder and harder to undo this. If it's a lie, or if it's not a lie, explain why. The longer you let it go on, at that point, she's not even going to care anymore. She'll be like, you let this go on for a year or 2 years or 5 years. Like, forget you.
Let's hope there's some answers here. But, let's just get your guys' take on all this. Are you glad that Liz is finally going to be back for sure for a whole episode seemingly about her? Let us know in the comments. And if you do enjoy this discussion, subscribe for more. Give us a like. Check out that preview later this week for episode 13. And you can support us further by checking those links to our store, our Patreon, and we'll see you here next time.